we heard from the Pentagon just moments ago about the strikes on the Houthis over the weekend. For a breakdown of this press briefing, let's go live to our chief Pentagon correspondent, Gabriella Cuccia. Gabby, what was the main takeaway from what the spokesman Sean Parnell had to say about the strikes in the Middle East? And by the way, good to see you.
Great to see you too, Stella. Thank you so much. Well, Lieutenant General Gerkowicz was also joining spokesman Sean Parnell, in which he laid out exactly what is going on at the Pentagon in response to the Houthis attacking not only military capabilities and personnel, but commercial entities too over in the Red Sea. That is a red line for this administration. So what we now know is that the United States has focused for the very first time starting this Saturday. It's been between Saturday, Sunday, and today that the United States military has focused on precision airstrikes under the leadership of Central Command, in which we saw on Saturday 30 of the Houthi militants deceased and more and counting between yesterday and today. The difference that we're hearing from Pentagon officials, to include spokesperson Sean Parnell, is that this administration has lifted some red tape on the Pentagon officials, in which they've expanded their target list and also their airstrike capability, Stella.
Yeah, they also redesignated the Houthis as a terrorist organization at the beginning of this administration because, as we know, the last administration did not call them terrorists. But Parnell also made it really clear, Gabby, that there is an end goal, right? He said, look, there's an end goal. What exactly did he say, and what does that look like?
So Sean Parnell actually did a pretty good job in the sense of trying to relay, in which he began this first presser even saying that this administration is the most transparent as possible, and that does not exclude the Department of Defense. But the point being, with the Department of Defense and these ongoing missions, there is certain information that just cannot simply be relayed to give, say, the Houthis or any other enemy outside of the area of responsibility a heads up in what they're looking at. But from his point of view, what he's relayed from the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, is that the Houthis' endgame is to stop attacks, point blank, period. I will say that the Lieutenant General joining Sean Parnell also reiterated that the Department of Defense is not scared of the Houthis, simply pointing to the fact that those Houthis responded with an airstrike of their own after Saturday's precision airstrike, trying to contact the USS Truman, in which they laughingly said that the Houthis missed by 100 kilometers. That plus their signals intelligence is far superior than the Houthis. They did not say whether or not they would actually have boots on the ground, again, stiff arming those types of detailed questions to maintain operational procedures over at the Pentagon. But we can ensure that this administration surely is not letting up, and the Houthis are certainly a top target for the Pentagon.
Yeah, and you're right. The administration made it very clear, make it stop. And we are not afraid of you. One thing that was interesting during the Q&A, Parnell was asked about recruitment and the scrapping of DEI in the military. This Defense Department is refocusing merit and ability. Is there anything new to report on that front?
Just echoing those sentiments, at the end of the day, one element that I've noticed has been missing in this reporting, when you talk about DEI, again, as Sean Parnell had said, that diversity in appearance is not celebrated. Diversity in ability is. So structuring the DoD to ensure that components are working operationally sound with those that have max capabilities in which they are instructed to carry out. But at the end of the day, this kind of comes in at the same time that we've seen, just personally, a lot of stress amongst the media in response to the Pentagon saying that they were also putting out that memo in which transgender soldiers would no longer be permitted to serve. I will say the Pentagon has shared that transgender military officers actually have been undeployable. And the reason being, you say when you're going through a transgender medical procedure, you need certain sorts of medicine. A continuation of medical professionals, whether it's by phone, in person, or the pure medication, is a red line for being deployable, because you don't have access to any of those quote unquote requirements to oversee a full transgender or gender dysphoria condition or processes. So that absolutely falls in line with the DoD component, that they're not able to sustain that. That's not operational in the slightest. And so that's just another echoing of the sentiment that, again, DEI is dead here at the DoD, per Sean Parnell today.
Yeah, and this was the second presser for the Pentagon and for this administration, and Parnell saying Don't worry, we're going to have more of these. Gabriella Cuccia, One America's chief Pentagon correspondent, thank you for that report.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.